Okay, well, Austin has made the top spot on another list. And we, by the way, I say we as a representative of the 5 people who have been in Austin for more than 25 years. I may be exaggerating the 5, but let's just roll with 5 for now. That's how I'm able to say we. Hang in there, everyone. We are used to being at the top of these lists. We're used to making these lists, have been making lists of every kind for quite a while now. So it's not that out of the ordinary. And before you think, and I know what you're going to think if you've heard me before, you're going to think, oh man, this is one of those things are nothing like they used to be rants. You know, that's going to sound like a get off my lawn rant. Not necessarily. I'll tell you this. If you're afraid that it's going to be one of those, you don't know what it used to be like rants, there's good and bad with this. I'll even start with the good. I think a lot of people are going to roll their eyes that when you hear this, if you haven't read it already. I don't think that's entirely fair. There's good and there's bad. The bad's easy. The good's, I think, pretty obvious as well. So it's about millionaires. Yeah, we did it. We did it. We just became a city of rich people. Pulled it off, didn't we? Now, it's not all bad. It's not. There's a great upside. I'll argue there's a terrific upside. According to statesman.com today, from 2013 to 2003, Austin's millionaire population grew 110%. Now, before you say, well, that's 110% from what? You have 5? Nope, we just passed Miami as the home of the most millionaires. It's 30 percentage points higher. The growth in millionaires during that period, 30 percentage points higher than the original Silicon Valley. I guess there's more than one now, including us. But Silicon Valley during the same time period. It's been a tech gold rush. It has absolutely been a gold rush. We're about to pass Miami in total number of millionaires. Most people would call that sort of what? Millionaire haven, right? That's where everybody goes? Yeah, well, we're about to pass them. And it's happened in a hurry. So Statesman today has a story. It says Austin is becoming a hub for high-wealth individuals. Then there's a whole list of cities around the world. No, we're not going to touch New York. We're not going to touch Hong Kong yet, but we're passing Miami, and we are moving ourselves up the top 10 really quickly. And there's good and bad. For many, many years now, particularly when those of you that, if you're the 99.6% that have not been here very long, you may not know that one of the biggest discussions in Austin for the better part of 20 years easily has been cost of living. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I've heard it countless times and nothing has been done because nothing can be done. And I've always said, money follows money. In Austin's case, a lot of money is following money. All right? So this has been an issue for a long, long time. And just to prove to you that it wasn't going to change, it's not going to change. In fact, there's going to be more of it. It's going to be even more of a rich person city. I would argue that's not going to slow down. There's no reason for it to slow down. So you can look at that as good or bad. To be fair, right off the bat. So I don't go full on get off my lawn guy. It's not the fault of the 99.6% of you that have not been here very long at all. You know, the entire population. It's not the fault of new people that, for instance, the road system is messed up. I mean, it doesn't take very long. I mean, people from Chicago, New York, all over, we all know that. But if you bring it up, somebody would say, well, yeah, it's kind of a messed up road system. You know, I have a whole lot here. So just so you know, that's not your fault. There's a lot to this super wealth following super wealth gold rush that has made Austin a hub for millionaires, that is moving Austin quickly up the charts as a city of only rich people, really rich people. But it's not your fault that the road system is the way that it is. It was decades of Austinites, myself and the 4 other people that are from here. It was decades of Austinites. The 5 to 8% that would vote locally, now the number's probably down to 1% or something like that. But the 5 to 8% that ever bothered to vote It was decades of us, the few of us that are left, it was decades of us saying no to road initiatives practically every time. Every time a road initiative came up, no. Every time an idea came up, no. So you now have a system, a road system, built for a population of about 400,000 people, and it's now 2 million people. That's not your fault. We didn't like it. We didn't want it. We never wanted to be this big. We went out of our way to vote against being this big. We wanted no concept of change, and yet it happened anyway. And that's why you have a road system for 400,000 that serves 2 million. We never thought, I'm just the four of us talking to you right now. We never thought it would be a city a city almost exclusively of wealthy people. That's not your fault. Okay? It's not. All right, there's good and the bad with the wealthy gold rush. That's going to continue. That's the thing you got to realize. So whatever I'm saying now, you can disagree with it all you want, but I don't think I'm that far off. Whatever you think about it now, the wealthy gold rush and what it's doing, again, this city is shooting up the charts of millionaires. We're not talking about shooting up the charts in population growth. We're talking about shooting up the charts of millionaires. I believe Austin also had the greatest growth in homes for a million or more of anywhere in the United States. So it's just the rapid rate of ultra wealthy coming here is it's pretty astonishing. Okay, the good with the bad. All right, the good, the really good, the best thing, and this is rarely accepted. And I think I'm an outlier when I make this argument, but it's certainly not accepted by the right-wing hater crowd. The right-wing hater crowd, although most Austinites could care less what people think, but what I'm about to say is not accepted, even though it's true, is not accepted by the right-wing hater crowd that hates on Austin. Okay, and that's pretty much everywhere else in Texas. But what I think the most important, in my opinion, the most important indicator of a really, really good economy, what I think is the healthiest measurement of an economy. There's never a perfect scenario. Most voters have no idea what they're talking about when they say the economy. You have no idea what you really mean by that. And there are plenty of indicators, jobs, GDP, blah, 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 blah. But I think the healthiest, my opinion, the healthiest indicator of a healthy economy is startups. Okay? Now, here's the good. I think this is great. This is something to brag about. Money and brains follow money and brains. And the Austin Gold Rush has created a city that has been number one for startups for some time. I mean, I don't know where we are exactly right now, but it's been in the top 1, 2, or 3 for a long time now. And that's a really good thing. I know a lot of people would say, and this is true, I mean, I think part of our political civil war, which is really based on culture now, not to get too nerdy, but I think part of our problem is we have such an economic disconnect. I'm talking about a city that is booming with startups, which is very good. That's what you want. You want people taking risk and reward. That is a healthy thing. But there are a lot of people that don't tap into it. There are a lot of people incapable of tapping into it. And I do think that has created much of the civil war we live in right now. It is, you live there where the startups are, and you live out there where the startups aren't. So it's easy to hate on each other. And I don't have a cure for that, except it would be nice if the education, the money followed into the rural areas, but it's not going to. But I think this is a really great thing. It's a healthy thing. There's no sign of it slowing down because money and brains is following money and brains. I used to say it all the time and people would get mad at me. Well, guess what's happened? Money and brains has followed money and brains, and they're starting businesses. And they're not all 65 either. So don't buy this this old man whiny thing. Oh, nobody can find a job now. You have a better opportunity now in this city. There are cranes all over the place because this is a city of startups. And that's good. Very good. That's not get off my lawn stuff. It's a great thing. Risk and reward is always healthy. You want that. Nothing in economics is perfect, but smart and rich has given way to more startups. Another, it's a safe city. Not perfect, but compared to most big cities, it's safe. The right-wing hater crowd loves to say otherwise, but that, again, is just hate. It's just fake noise. Usually, the people hating on Austin's not safe, it's lawless, it's out of control, which is all bogus. Again, it's not perfect, but usually they're people from cities with far more crime problems than Austin. Certainly per capita. And so people love to label Austin as an out-of-control, lawless place. It's awful, blah, blah, blah. It's not. Statistically, it's a very safe big city. The big money gold rush has been a boost for a lot of things. The big money gold rush has not made it a more dangerous city. It's not true. Also, the big money gold rush, that's not slowing down. It's been a boost to great dining, I'll say that. Dining options, let's put it that way. Dining options. Now, if you're going to say, well, gosh, Jeff, yeah, the big city or the big money gold rush has created more restaurants, more opportunities, for great food, but it's also for more people that have money. Yes, true. One of the downsides of this is going to be it's a city of rich people, continuing the path of more rich people. And so, yeah, plenty of people are going to get priced out, but there are more options. Okay? In a city that's not diverse at all, one of the least diverse places in the United States, certainly now among big cities, the food scene has improved light years. Same with the drinking scene, I think you could argue. There are more options. Look at it that way. Money following brains, more money following more brains has created more options for food if you can afford it. Okay? All the wealthy people influx, which is now documented today, again, we're just shooting up the charts of rich people, has created more wealthy people and wealthy people, things, and stuff. There. It's not complicated. Okay, the bad part. The reasons wealthy people, like a lot of people, even though they're not wealthy, but practically nothing is left now, the reasons wealthy people say they've moved here, the reason most people have said for 20 years they've moved here, okay? Now only wealthy people can move here. But the reason why people say they came here is exactly what you've killed off. Just so you know. You don't care, I don't think. But you've killed it off. All the stuff you said you wanted, the reasons why you came here from your plastic cities, is exactly what's been killed off. The music scene is better, I guess, than most plastic cities. But it's nothing like it was. And that's just, it's not even close. You have no idea. You can say you came for the music, but the live, and you maybe come here saying that, but you killed it off. It's not here. Just so you know. You say you came here for weird. The weird part died. I don't think people really want the weird. I don't even think people really want the music. I just think you like to tell other people you do like it. Particularly back at plastic cities. Of course, Austin is far better than most plastic cities. No doubt. More strip malls. But you don't know weird. You don't really want weird. Anybody who says they do is lying, I think, for the most part. And when you act like things are weird around here, you really have no idea what you're talking about. You really don't. In fact, I don't think if you could go back in time and experience what weird was, I don't think you'd like it. I don't. You like to say that you like weird, but the people that make up the wealthy gold rush of today would largely make fun of and probably be disgusted with Weird Austin. What many of us, not many, 4 of us know as Weird Austin. Weird to you now, to the wealthy gold rush, is maybe wearing flip-flops to a restaurant. You think that's nutty. You're out of control. You're edgy. Right? You think that's weird. It used to be one of many examples. Weird would be something like a transgendered former Marine with a 20-inch neck running for city council, and the platform was vitamins for everyone by putting it in the water. That is the way things used to be. And I'm not making it up. And there was a lot of that. So that was weird, and that was fun. That was quirky and fun to a lot of us. Most people in the gold rush now who think and say they want weird would not have liked that at all. You would have made fun of it. The gold rush killed weird. It did. For all the upsides, you killed weird. You don't want weird. Weird was priced out. Weird was run out a long time ago, just like the music was run out a long time ago. The wealthy gold rush, a city of ultra-rich with more ultra-rich. The wealthy gold rush has pretty much killed off the culture. Now, I know that Austin's never been a very diverse place. There's not music. The hippie culture is non-existent. You're going to tell your friends at whatever strip mall they live by, back wherever you're from, oh, it's so cool and different here. Yeah, true. But you have no idea what a hippie culture is. You really have no idea. You don't know. This was one of the least diverse places in America. That's just true now. And so whatever quirky culture was there, it's pretty much long gone. So forget it. The super wealthy gold rush. Again, this list of top 10, Austin will quickly be passing Miami and a few other cities as the most millionaires. And this has all happened in a short amount of time. Just so you know the context of this. This is a city for ultra rich. Those buildings downtown are not because some bank is moving in there. It's because more rich people are coming here because they can afford to come here. The super wealthy gold rush, and this is dangerous, but there's no fix. 20 years ago, I said, oh, really? You got some policy to make it more affordable? What would that be? I'll bet you've got nothing. And sure enough, here we are 20 years later, and now we're shooting up the charts of millionaires. It hasn't changed at all. In fact, it's just gone faster. But the super wealthy gold rush that this story is now talking about has created an economy and a basic setup of people who can afford to be who can't afford to be anywhere near the city center. I mean, this affordability issue is legit, and it's like it's on steroids now. People can't afford to be anywhere near the city center. Most people can't even afford to be anywhere near the city, period. Austin won't get more affordable, okay? I don't even think people try to say it anymore. I think everyone's just given up and just live this way. But if next time you hear, if you pay any attention, most people don't, if you hear a council member or someone running for mayor talking about affordability, it can't get more affordable. It can't. And the millionaire issue is why. And we could fight about that all you want. I'm pretty sure I got a long track record on this one of being right. So think about this. The millionaire issue is the reason why. Multi-millionaire issue is the reason why. Because the supply is for rich people because the demand is from the rich. I mean, supply is just following demand, or demand is following supply, however you want to factor it in. But it can't correct itself. There's no policy that's going to correct it. The whole economy can't correct itself. And again, 99% of the rest of the country would dream to have this problem. But the affordability problem can't correct itself. No matter what a local government says. Again, everybody else in government hates on Austin. But Austin is pretty much funding the rest of this stupid state right now. So, well, Houston and Dallas are doing their part. But the market here is for the rich. It's been taken over by the ultra-rich. So whatever supply is out there is for the rich, and it's gobbled up by the rich. So it's just this stream. I've said before, it's almost like a large aspen. Not quite that exaggerated, but it's kind of the same problem or good thing. It's just demand is there, but the demand can only be serviced by expensive homes and condos. So it's just sort of a self-fulfilling cycle. It won't stop anytime soon. There's no policy that will change that anytime soon. And it will eventually, if it's not already a problem, it'll be a big problem. There. Was that a get off my lawn rant? I don't think so. But of all the lists, I mean, it's funny to think about. Of all the lists that have come and gone, and all this stuff that has come up through the years that everyone thinks makes Austin so cool. I mean, this is one that I thought I'd see coming. I didn't think I'd see coming this fast, and it is a absolute gold rush of ultra rich people, unlike anywhere else. Now, most people listening, which is the 99.6%, don't really have any idea what I'm talking about. You probably don't have to have an idea what I'm talking about. Hopefully some perspective on what I'm talking about. But I guess would you even care? I'm not even sure anyone cares. It's not your problem. Most people are going to say, why don't you shut up, old man? It's not my problem. Well, just so you're aware, just to have an appreciation for what's going on. All right, on Twitter or X or whatever we call it, it's you can post comments. Hopefully it all sinks in. The lists, I think by now, most people have been able to read it. Just so you know, we haven't passed New York City, which has 340,000 millionaires. San Francisco has 285. Houston still has 90. L.A., Chicago, and then we're about to pass Miami, and then we'll quickly pass Boston probably next year, and then not far away from Seattle. I mean, all the indicators are we're going to move at light speed to move up this chart of rich people.